Hello everyone, I'm here to do a review on Book 3, Chapter 4 of Adam Smith's book of An Inquiry into the Natural Causes of the Wealth of Nations. This book was published on the 9th of March 1776 by W. Strachan and T. Cadell London in Scotland, Great Britain. Having read Chapter 4 of Book 3, the theme of Chapter 4, which says how the commerce of the towns contributed to the improvement of the county. There are some aspects in Smith's work that caught many attention. His theory is that of the idea that markets tend to work best when the government leaves them alone. This might be a good thing in our modern society, but it also has some cons in it. In the foremost instance, one thing I like in the literature is the fact that, for starters, the towns provided markets where the people from the country could sell all the stuff they produced, which gave them the motivation to produce even more. I think it's a good market economy because Adam Smith is trying to point out that a powerful force drives the world towards a converging commonality. It's politicized communication, transportation, and travel, and made isolated places and impoverished peoples eager of modernities, allotments. Almost everyone everywhere wants all of the things they have heard about, seen, or experienced via the new commerce system. The result is a new commercial reality, the emergence of global markets for standardized consumers' products on a previously unimagined scale of magnitude. Corporations geared to this new reality benefit from enormous management by translating these benefits into reduced world prices. They can disseminate competitors that still live in the disabling grip of old assumptions about how the world works. This free market force became known as the invincible hand, but it needed support to bring out its magic. In particular, it was the market that emerged from an increasing division of labor, both within production processes and through society, that created a series of mutual interdependencies, promoting social welfare through individual profit motives. In other words, once you're specialized as a baker and produce holy bread, you must rely on somebody else for your clothes, somebody else for your meat, and yet somebody else for your beer. Meanwhile, the people that specialize in clothes must now rely on you for their bread, and that's how it goes on and on. Furthermore, another positive thing I captured in Adam Smith's work is that by affording a great and ready market for the rude produce of the country, they gave encouragement to its cultivation and further improvements. This benefit was not even confined to the countries in which they were situated, but extended more or less to all those with which they had any dealings. To all of them, they afforded a market for some part either of their rude or manufactured product, and consequently gave some encouragement to the industry and improvement of all. Their own country, however, on account of its neighborhood, necessarily derived the greatest benefit from its market. Its rude produce became charged with less carriage, the traders could pay the growers a better price for it, and yet afford it as cheap to the consumers as that of more distant countries. Going further, many merchants bought up a lot of the country's land with the hopes of making it profitable. This led them to buy up a lot of land that had been useless before so they could turn it into productive agricultural lands. In Smith's mind, merchants are often great improvers of land because they want to make it productive and profitable. I believe this is a great move for societal development, and if places like Sierra Leone, for instance, could adopt and put into practice this ideology, then our nation will become a better place where the commerce will thrive. Entrepreneurs play a key role in any economy, using the skills and initiative necessary to anticipate needs and bring in good new ideas to market. Entrepreneurs that prove to be successful in taking on the risk of creating a startup is rewarded with profit, fame, and continued growth opportunities. Entrepreneurship that fails results in losses and less prevalence in the markets for those involved. Over time, a relationship was formed between the landowners and the farmers that resulted in a lot of Europe's land becoming more productive. You saw a population increase because the land could support more people. Moreover, a city's prosperity and growth depended crucially on its ability to attract productive workers, match them appropriately to jobs, and further develop their skills. The importance of skills has been stressed in urban economics since in the beginning of urbanization causes migration to talent and skilled people to major cities. However, despite the positives in Adams' work on Book 3, Chapter 4, there are some negatives in which I don't agree with. A look at the first one. It is the invisible hand theorem in which Adam Smith suggested that if people are allowed to trade freely, self-interested traders present in the market will compete with each other, leading market towards a positive entrepreneurship. By regulation in time, society will flourish organically. These arguments are naturally competitive with the concept of function of government. We should know that the government isn't something created by chance. It is prescriptive and intentional. Politicians, regulators, and those who exercise legal forces pursue defined goals through concession. However, in contrast, macroeconomic forces, supply and demand, buying and selling, profit and loss occurs voluntarily until government policies inhabit or overrides them. In this sense, it is more accurate to suggest that government affects the invisible land, not the other way around. And thus, that through the great part of Europe, the commerce and manufacturers of cities, instead of being the effect, have been the cause and occasion of improvement and cultivation of the country. This order, however, being contrary to the natural causes of things, is necessarily between slow and uncertain. Compare the slow progress of those European countries of which the world depends very much upon their commerce and manufacturers with the rapid advance of our North American colonies, of which the wealth is founded altogether in agriculture. In addition, there is also the aspect of the feudal system in Smith's work. This concept is one I do not agree with, and it seems to be more tyrannical. Feudalism is the medieval model of government predating the birth of the modern nation state. Feudal society is a military hierarchy in which a ruler or lord offers mounted fighters a fief, a unit of land, a control in exchange for a military service. The individual who accepted the land becomes a vassal, and the man who granted the land becomes his liege or his lord. Secondly, feudalism discouraged the trade and economic growth. The land was worked by peasants, farmers, and called serfs, who were tied to individual plots of land and forbidden to move or change occupations without permission of the landowner. The feudal lord might claim 1/3 of 1/2 of their produce and taxes and fees, and serfs owed him a set of days each year in which they would milk it for all over it was worth. And conclusively, the contributions of the Wealth of Nations, which resembles the encyclopedia, encyclopedia, as it's far more than a media textbook on economics. One criteria calls it a history and criticism of all European civilization. Amongst a host of topics, it discussed the origin and uses of money, apprenticeship, statistics, waste, the military, foreign trade, landlord, the clergy, royalty, famine, and the late disturbance in American colonies. However, the book is a masterpiece because it presents a comprehensive picture of economics, a revolutionary doctrine which reviews the economy as though it were a living organism. And conclusively, according to the whole book 3, I am of the view that this book is indeed helpful to the nations and individuals who want to progress in opulence. For that reason, it is given a 5-star rating. Thank you.